Govardhan.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Nithai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nithai Gora Hari Bol.
Tigara Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Tigara Hari Bol.
Hari Nam Sankirtan ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Nithai Gaura Premanande.
Hari Bol.
Vibhavari Shesha Haloka Provesha Nidrachari Jiva Vibhavari Shesha Haloka Provesha Nidra Chadiyuta Jiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Narasimha Swami Srimadusudana Brajendra Nandana Shyama Putana Gatana Kaita Bashatana Jaya Dasarati Rama Yashoda Lala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandhara Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara Bhora Ravana Thakura Makana Taskara Gopi Jana Vastrahari Brajera Rakala Gopa Vrindapalo Chitta Hari Vamsi Dhari Yogendra Bandhana Shri Nandanandana Brajajana Bhayahari Nabina Niradha Rupa Manohara Mohana Bamsi Bihari Yashodanandana Kamsanishudhana Nikonjarasa Bilasi
Yashodanandana Kamsanishudhana Nikonjarasa Bilasi
Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana Vrinda Vipina Nivasi
Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana Vrinda Vipina Nivasi
Ananda Vardhana Prema Niketana Pulasharayo Jakakana
Ananda Vardhana Prema Niketana Pulasaraya Jakakana
Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Gopangana Gana Chitta Nodana Samasta Guna Gana Dama Yogin Yamuna Devana Kele Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Yamuna Jivana Kili Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Namashudaras Go Krishna Yash Rakho Vachana Manna Mohora Namashudaras Go Krishna Yash Rakho Vachana Manna Mohora Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janaballabha Giridharidhari Gopi Janaballabha Giridharidhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bo Nitai Gaur Hari Bo Jai 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayat Nasta Praeshu Vabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So we are concluding today our talks on the celebration of Govardhan Puja, which is today, of course. So we were explaining, first of all, how Lord Krishna was very upset with the people of Vrindavan that they were giving so much importance to the worship of what is described as an insignificant demigod. Of course, Indra is the king of heaven, he's powerful, but in comparison to Lord Krishna, he is certainly insignificant. And Lord Krishna was not happy to see that his pure devotees, his eternal associates, were engaged in the worship of Indra. So Lord Krishna then set about discouraging Nanda Maharaj from this worship. And he spoke different philosophies. We mentioned how he spoke the Karma Mimamsa philosophy, which is atheistic with a belief in reincarnation. And then he spoke another atheistic philosophy, which was Sankhya, from the atheist Kapila. And this way he was explaining the world came about from the modes of nature. And he wanted to tell them that Indra is not supreme, that he's not the real cause of the rain. Nanda Maharaj was trying to tell Krishna that we worship Indra because he's the god of rain, and we need the rain because we need grass for the cows. We need to feed the cows, and the cows need water. The crops can't grow without rain. It's so important. Now is the rainy season here in Sri Lanka. The monsoon season began only recently, so that's why it's quite heavy rain. And we could see yesterday when we were traveling in the buses, we could see everywhere, everything is green. But the tour guide in the bus told me, he said, 8 months of the year there's no rain here. 8 months of the year is very hot. This is a tropical climate here. And so there's not a lot of water, so difficult to irrigate the fields. So without water, the fields will just be barren. So the farmers get only one crop a year. And so this is the time when they're busy planting, and you could see the rice in the fields everywhere. So rain is so important for the welfare of the people, and it was so 5,000 years ago, because Nanda Maharaj's family, the whole village, was maintaining cows. They were all Vaishyas, and they were taking care of the cows. So Lord Krishna wanted to stop the worship of the demigods. One reason was because Indra had become proud. Lord Krishna is omniscient. He knows the heart of everyone, and he could understand the false pride of Indra. Lord Krishna doesn't like to see his devotees proud, and he made arrangements to humble Indra. That was one purpose. Another purpose was Lord Krishna wants to inaugurate the Govardhan Puja. He wants to have this, to see Govardhan Hill worshipped properly. And the third reason was that he wants to spend 7 days uninterrupted in the association of his devotees, the Brijbasis. Not only the people, but the cows also. These cows, actually, we should explain, the cows in Vrindavan during Krishna's pastimes, they're all from the spiritual world. They're not ordinary cows. And they have all come to take part in the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And we will explain a bit when we talk more about the prayers which were offered by Surabhi. Anyway, Lord Krishna was enjoying the 7 days with his eternal associates, the cows and all the people of Vrindavan. So 3 reasons for this pastime. And Lord Krishna got the people of Vrindavan to give up the Indra Yagya and to worship the Govardhan Hill and the cows and the Brahmanas. And of course also the Brahmanas, they like the sacrificial fire. I don't think we're lighting any fires here today. But anyway, it's described like that in the Krishna book and in Bhagavatam. The Brahmins, the Vedic Brahmins, will perform sacrifice, and the fire will be worshipped. We circumambulate the fire when we do the yagya, when you have diksha, like that, we circumambulate the fire. So this Lord Krishna wanted like that for the worship of the Govardhan Hill. He said the Govardhan Hill is what our real deity. Our worshipful deity is the Govardhan Hill, because it provides grasses for the cows, and the water, nice water, is coming from the Govardhan Hill. And so many vegetables and roots are growing on the Govardhan Hill, which are nice food for the cows also, as well as people. And so in this way, Lord Krishna was glorifying the Govardhan Hill. The Govardhan Hill is the one who is really giving us so much help in maintaining our livelihood. So we should worship the Govardhan Hill and the cows and the Brahmanas. And Nanda Maharaj, because he's the eternal associate of Lord Krishna, he submits. He has to agree to Krishna's desire. Because the people of Vrindavan, Krishna is in the center of their life. Somehow they had forgotten, and they had put Indra, they'd begun this Indra Yagya. So Lord Krishna wants to bring them back to their actual position with Krishna in the center and have the worship of the Govardhan Hill. And then Lord Krishna revealed, when they made the offering to Govardhan Hill, Lord Krishna revealed, he said, I am this Govardhan Hill. And Lord Krishna took this huge form and began to eat all the offerings. So the Govardhan Hill personally appeared. And we saw the Govardhan Hill is not different from Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna appears in many forms, and one of these wonderful forms was the Govardhan hill. So everyone was happy. They enjoyed a nice festival. They had very nice food. They fed everyone. They fed the cows, and they fed the brahmanas, and they fed even the dogs and the dog eaters. Everyone was taken care of. And everyone was happy except for Indra. And Indra, he's very angry because he didn't get his yagya. So he calls for the Samvartaka clouds to come. And these Samvartaka clouds are usually only there at the time of the annihilation or the devastation of the whole universe. Lord Krishna called for these clouds to come and inundate Vrindavan. And along with them there were winds, special winds which blow only at the time of the devastation of the universe. And they also went along with the Samvartaka clouds. And Indra said, and I'm also coming with you. I will come on Airavata, my elephant. And so in this way Indra was pushing the clouds. The clouds were reluctant because it was not the proper time for them to come. It was not the season, it was not the proper time. But Indra coerced them. You have to do it. Go. I'm coming with you. And they went and they inundated Vrindavan with lightning bolts and thunder and rain like pillars, and even ice was falling from the sky. It was a terrifying situation. Everything became very black and very cold, and everyone was afraid. So all the people of Vrindavan, they were in great turmoil. What to do? Our life is in danger. So the people of Vrindavan, when they're in danger, they only think of Krishna. They go to Krishna. So this situation was arranged. Just how we may wonder, they're such great devotees, how they could suffer, how could they be put into such a difficult condition? Why is it like that? They're great devotees, but they're suffering. So we heard yesterday, just like Nityananda Pran Prabhu was explaining about Rama Lila, how in the course of Sita, there were so many difficulties she had to go through. She had to accept so much adversity, so much trouble. Why? She's such a great devotee. Why she had so many difficulties? It's to increase and to show her great love and devotion. And he gave the example, remember he spoke yesterday about rubbing camphor with sandalwood. When you rub the camphor into the sandalwood, the more you rub it, the more the aroma increases. The camphor and the sandalwood, very fragrant. So, the same way, the more there are difficulties, it brings out the wonderful qualities in these devotees. So similarly with the people of Vrindavan. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a different example, and he talks about just like when a person is hungry. Maybe you haven't taken food for a while. You know, maybe you do fasting, right? Now is Kartik Vrat. At the end of Kartik Vrat, we have Bhisma Panchak, right? Bhisma Panchak. The last Ekadasi in the month of Kartik is very important, very auspicious. So that's the first day of the Bhisma Panchak. And if you're going to observe the Bhisma Panchak, you do full fast that day. Because it's done by people, if you have not done proper Chaturmasya Vrat, you haven't observed the vow of the 4 months of austerity very strictly, then you can get the benefit of the 4 months by just doing the 5 days, the last 5 days of Kartik, Bhisma Panchak. And if you observe the last 5 days, Bhisma Panchak, you get the benefit of the whole of the Chaturmasya. So to do the Bhisma Panchak, the first day, the Ekadasi, do Nirjal, right? You do Nirjal. And then 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th day, you observe also some kind of fasting. Now different people will do different things. In Mayapur, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj used to do it every year, and he would have all the devotees. They would only eat no grains. They would only take fruit and roots for 5 days, 4 days. First day is Nirjal, and then 4 days after that, only fruits and roots. So if you want to get the benefit of the Chaturmasya, you can do the Bhisma Panchak. Anyway, I'm saying that if you're fasting, you do a fasting, and then when you get food, oh, it tastes so good. You think, oh, it's so nice, right? Yeah, and that is the pleasure of fasting. You observe the fasting, and then when you eat, you feel so much pleasure from the food. So similarly, the people of Vrindavan, the suffering which they're going through, oh, the heavy rain, Indra's anger, all the danger, it's allowing them to go on to experience the greatest pleasure in the association of Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna is going to come and deliver them from that situation. So Lord Krishna did, of course. All the people of Vrindavan were, oh, what are we going to do? How will we ever survive? It's so cold and it's raining and ice is falling. They came to Krishna. So Krishna went running and he picked up the Govardhan hill with his left hand and held it up with his little finger. And he called and he picked it up. He picked it up just like you would pick up a mushroom. You know, we don't usually pick up mushrooms, but if you do, you know, the example is appropriate, because a mushroom is a bit like an umbrella, right? So Lord Krishna picked up the whole Govardhan hill, just like someone would pick up a mushroom, and he held it up, and then he called all the people, bring the cows, bring the animal, come under the Govardhan hill, you will be safe here. Because Lord Krishna knew this is the pride of Indra, this is his anger, because he did not get his sacrifice. How proud he is. Like a child, when the child doesn't get their way, sometimes they become very angry. And so Indra was behaving in a childish manner. So Lord Krishna is going to correct him. He's a loving father. Loving father always wants to correct the child. And Lord Krishna is doing exactly like this, by picking up the Govardhan hill and inviting everyone. And for 7 days they were together. But it did not seem like 7 days. It was just like a few hours. There was no thought of hunger, and there was no feeling of tiredness or cold. Everyone was so absorbed in seeing the form of Lord Krishna and being with Lord Krishna. And in this way they were fully satisfied. So after 7 days, Indra came to his senses and realized he had been defeated. So he called the Samvartaka clouds, go back, go home. And then Lord Krishna saw there was no more rain, there was no more wind, it was all over. Lord Krishna told the people, now you can go out from under the hill, go back home. And Lord Krishna put the hill back exactly in the place where it would be. So after replacing Govardhan hill, all the demigods were very happy, and they threw flowers on Krishna and they celebrated the occasion. The people of Vrindavan were also joyful. Those who were senior to Krishna, they would come and ask him, "Oh, is your arm sore from holding up the hill so long? Maybe we can give you a massage. Your finger must be sore holding up the hill all this time." And those who were equal would embrace Krishna, and the younger people would massage Krishna's lotus feet. And this way everyone was just so much absorbed in love and respect for Lord Krishna. So then Srimad Bhagavatam goes on in the next chapter. It's called Wonderful Krishna. And it describes how the different inhabitants of Vrindavan are asking Nanda Maharaj that, "What kind of child is this you've got? What kind of child is this that he can pick up the mountain Govardhan and hold it up for 7 days? And we saw already that he killed the demon Putana. So we're wondering, who is this child? Who is your son?" And Nanda Maharaj said, "Well, I don't know, but Garga Muni told me that whatever obstacles there are, we will overcome them by the grace of this child. And he told me he will be as good as Narayan." So Nanda Maharaj, he said, "Maybe he's a demigod." He said, "I don't know." He said, "But I know he's very naughty. He's very mischievous. Sometimes he steals butter, and sometimes he will pass urine here and there, and he does so much mischief. But I don't know about it. I think it's just a normal child. How to understand?" And then the next chapter goes on, and we hear about how Indra is feeling very repentant about what has happened. And that's a very important qualification for a devotee. As we said, Indra is not a demon, he's a devotee. But sometimes even devotees become bewildered by the material energy. We always have to pray, just like we heard, that Hanuman came to Lanka, he didn't get attracted to Lanka. And we heard the example, Srila Prabhupada went to America, he didn't get bewildered by American life. He didn't think, "Oh, now I'm here in America, I will enjoy." No, he remembered his business, why he had come there. So similarly, we have Indra, unfortunately, he had become proud, the king of heaven, being worshipped by the other demigods and surrounded by beautiful ladies. And so certainly the opulence, which is far greater than any opulence we can conceive of here on this planet, it bewildered Indra, and because of his pride and being worshipped and getting sacrifices, he thought of himself to be independent of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So he feels very guilty. Now he has seen something of the power of Lord Krishna, and he realizes his own position, that he is insignificant in comparison to Lord Krishna. So he wonders what to do, and he approached Lord Brahma for guidance. What should I do? Should I go and apologize? So Lord Brahma told Indra, she said, "Yes, it's a good idea. You should go and apologize, but don't go on your own. If you go alone, Krishna may not even look at you, because you've done something so terrible that you wanted to kill all the cows. You wanted to end the life in Vrindavan. So he must be disgusted with you. But if you go there with Surabi. And so we're told that the Surabi cow which went with Indra was not from the spiritual world, but it was from apparently it says there's a Goloka planet in the material world, which is inhabited by cows. And it was one of these cows from this Goloka planet, which is in the material realm, which went with Indra to Vrindavan. So the Surabi cow comes along with Indra, and they go to see Lord Krishna. And they find a beautiful place. It so happened that Lord Krishna was alone at this time. So it's very appropriate for Indra to come there and apologize, because Indra's already been humiliated. He'd been trying to show how powerful he was, and he was totally defeated. So he's been embarrassed and humiliated. And now he's coming to apologize to Krishna, so he doesn't want to do it in front of everyone. That would be even more humiliating and embarrassing for him. So it was arranged that Lord Krishna was there alone. In one commentary it said Lord Krishna had come there to look at the Govardhan hill and see how the thunderbolts had affected the hill of Govardhan. He wanted to see if there were any scars on the hill of Govardhan from the thunderbolts thrown by Indra. So Indra came there with Mother Surabi, and they met. The place is called Govinda Kund. If you go around the Govardhan hill, there's one very nice lake there, which is called Govinda Kund. And it said that Indra and Surabi met Lord Krishna there. At that time there was no Kund, but Krishna was there, and Lord Indra comes, and he offers his obeisances, and he apologizes. He explains to Lord Krishna how you are the Supreme Lord, and you're never affected by the modes of nature, and foolish people are influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance, and they become proud and they engage in so many sinful activities. And he said, I was like that. I was so stupid. I was so blinded by opulence that I tried to surpass you. I thought of you like an ordinary person. I did not understand your actual transcendental position and how you're the Lord of the entire creation. He said, this was all my foolishness, my ignorance. And this way Indra went on and apologized and expressed his own foolishness and what he had done. And Lord Krishna is looking at him, and when Indra finished, well, Indra actually asked, he said, please bless me that I won't do this again. But the acharyas point out that although Indra was saying that he realizes it was his pride, that again in the future it will happen that he becomes proud again. Because in the future, when he's back in the heavenly planets, it comes about that Lord Krishna goes there and he takes with him Satyabhama, and he was returning the earrings of Mother Aditi, which had been stolen by Narakasura. So Lord Krishna was bringing back these earrings. Lord Krishna had killed Narakasura and brought back the things which Narakasura had stolen from Mother Aditi, and he brought them back to the heavenly planets. And he came with Satyabhama. And the reason why he brought Satyabhama was he wants to take a Parijata Previously, Narada Muni had brought a parijata flower and given a parijata flower to Mother Rukmini. So Rukmini and Satyabhama, they're the principal wives of Lord Krishna. And naturally there's always some competition between them. You know, you cannot expect not to have that. Lord Krishna has so many wives, so there are 8 principal wives, and from the 8 principal wives, 2 are even more prominent. That is Rukmini, who was the first wife of Lord Krishna, and then Satyabhama, who was the daughter of Satrajit. And so there was some competition between these 2. Rukmini had been given the parijata flower. Now this parijata flower, the fragrance is so wonderful that even the bees come from the heavenly planets just to get the aroma, to get the nectar from this flower. It's such a wonderful flower. It's a heavenly flower, parijata. And so the aroma was so nice, and she just had 1 flower. So Satyabhama's jealous. He gave her the flower. I didn't get one. So Lord Krishna, don't worry, I will get for you a whole tree. So when he goes to the heavenly planets, he takes Satyabhama with him. And he took a parijata tree for Satyabhama. But when he takes the tree, Indra's wife complains, "Hey, that tree belongs to the heavenly planets. You cannot take that tree away from here." And Indra's thinking, "Oh, my wife said you can't take this tree, you know." So he wants to keep his wife happy, you know. A little bit henpecked, you know. And so there's a fight. There's actually a fight. Indra fought with Krishna again. Krishna's trying to take the parijata tree, and Indra's trying to stop him. "No, this tree is the property of the heavenly planets. It has to stay here." And he's forgetting who is Lord Krishna. He is the proprietor of the whole material creation. If he wants to take one tree from the heavenly planets to bring it to Dwarka, who is Indra to stop him? Anyway, Indra does try to stop him, and there's a fight, but Lord Krishna defeats Indra, and he brought the parijata tree to Dwarka. So although Indra was praying at the time of Govardhan Puja, "Oh, don't let pride affect me again," but still it got him again. It's such a dangerous thing. We have to be so careful. You know, pride, we say pride comes before the fall. So we have to be very careful. One of the very dangerous demoniac qualities. So how cautious we have to be to guard against pride. And how to guard against pride? Well, constant chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. That is recommended. Just like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's an example. There was one leper. He had leprosy, named Vasudev. And his body was being eaten by worms. And the worms would eat his flesh. And if one of the worms would fall out from his body, he would put it up and put it back in his body. He was so detached from the material body. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced this Brahmana. And when he embraced this Brahmana, all the leprosy left his body, and he became rejuvenated. His body became very nice and healthy again. But the Brahmana said to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Oh no, I will become proud. Now my body's healthy and strong. I may become attracted to sense gratification. I'll become a victim of the material energy." Lord Chaitanya told him, so therefore you must always chant the holy name and preach Krishna consciousness, and that will keep you free of pride. So like this, Lord Chaitanya gave the instruction to this Brahmana how to guard against pride. Anyway, Indra became affected by pride. He came to Krishna and he prayed to Krishna, don't let pride get me again, but still it happened. So we have to be very cautious and learn from the example of Indra. Anyway, Lord Krishna told Indra, he said, now you can go back to the heavenly planets. You know, Indra was worried. He thought maybe Lord Krishna is going to send me to Yamaraj for punishment. But anyway, Lord Krishna said, all right, you can go back to the heavenly planets, but be very careful. Don't be affected by pride. And so then Surabhi came forward, and Surabhi began to speak and offer her prayers to Lord Krishna. And Surabhi, we're told Surabhi, when she is offering her prayers, that she was thanking Krishna for protecting all the cows. Because Lord Krishna picked up the Govardhan hill and all the cows had come underneath her, underneath the shelter. So Surabhi was thanking Krishna for protecting the cows. And she was thinking of those cows like her offspring. But actually, the Acharyas point out that these cows who are with Krishna, they're all transcendental cows. They're all from Goloka. They're not ordinary cows. They're not cows of the material world. But they'd come there to Vrindavan just to be there with Krishna and take part in his pastimes. So Surabhi was thinking, because this Surabhi, remember, I said she's from a material planet, one of the higher planets, and she was thinking these cows were her offspring, but actually they're from the spiritual world. In the same way, they glorify Lord Krishna as appearing in the Moon dynasty. But the Acharyas say, Lord Krishna doesn't come from the Moon dynasty, he comes from the spiritual Moon dynasty. As there's a moon in the material world, there's a moon in the spiritual world. Lord Krishna is not a descendant from the Moon dynasty in the material world. Lord Krishna is coming from the spiritual world. And so like that, Mother Surabhi was identifying the cows as being of this material world, but actually they were all transcendental. Anyway, Mother Surabhi thanks Lord Krishna for saving the cows, and she appreciates how kind Lord Krishna is to his devotees in a very wonderful manner. And then she told Lord Krishna that actually you are Indra. That this man, Indra, this so-called demigod who calls himself Indra, he's not the real Indra. He tried to kill the cows. You are the real Indra because you saved the cows. You are the, Indra means king, you see. So they want to, Mother Surabhi said, you are actually the real Indra. And at that time they gave Lord Krishna the name Govinda, one who protects the cows. So Lord Krishna was very happy to get these prayers from Mother Surabhi. And then Mother Surabhi and Indra, they both said, now we are going to do Abhishek for you. Perform the bathing of Lord Krishna. And Brahma had told them to do like that. So Brahma, Lord Brahma, he's the highest authority in the universe. So because the Supreme Authority said, you do Abhishek for Krishna, so they performed Abhishek. And Mother Surabhi, she used the milk from her own udder. She poured the milk onto the transcendental body of Lord Krishna. And Indra, he brought Ganga water. And through the trunk of Airavrata, they poured water onto Lord Krishna. And in this way we got the Govinda Kund. So that Govinda Kund, which is there at the side of the Govardhan hill, originally it was the Abhishek, from the Abhishek of Lord Krishna. The water is still there. I don't know what happened to all the milk, but the water is there. And certainly you can take the water there and bathe there. So in this way, Lord Krishna was honored for his wonderful service and showing the glories of Govardhan Hill. The Govardhan Hill, right? I told you how there's one verse in the 21st chapter of 10th canto, the Venu Gita, and the gopis glorify Govardhan Hill. Hantayam adrir adari haridasa bharya. Yadrama Krishna charanas parasha pramodha. Like this, the gopis are singing how Govardhan Hill is Haridasa Bharya. He's the very best of all the devotees of Lord Hari. There are many people called Haridas, but there's only one Haridasa Bharya, and that is the Govardhan Hill. And Lord Chaitanya, when he went to Vrindavan, he was circumambulating the Govardhan Hill, and as he circumambulated, he chanted that sloka from the Srimad Bhagavatam. He was singing that sloka. Just like wherever he goes, he would know the appropriate mantras in different places. When he went to Vishakhapatnam, you know the deity of Lord Nrsingadev, which is there. They have that deity which is all covered in sandalwood, and they only take the sandalwood off one day a year on Akshaya Tritiya. And so he was chanting Shri Nrsinga, Jai Nrsinga, Jai Jai Nrsinga, Praladesha, Jaya Padamukha Padma Bringa. He was chanting all of these different prayers, which we know, you know. Lord Chaitanya, he was singing these different verses, different temples. So Lord Chaitanya teaches us how to honor, how to respect the holy places, and especially Govardhan Hill. So the worship of Govardhan Hill is such a wonderful thing that Srila Prabhupada, in his final days, he had the desire, he wanted to go again round the Govardhan Hill. He wanted to do the parikrama. Of course, Srila Prabhupada was bedridden, and it was a difficult situation. But somehow, the devotees pacified Prabhupada, and he agreed to remain in the Krishna Balaram temple. Anyway, he enjoyed the Govardhan Puja, and he left a few days after. We will be celebrating Prabhupada's disappearance festival in a few more days. So, certainly Prabhupada was a very great devotee of the Govardhan Hill. And he liked to see us worship the Govardhan Hill and perform this festival. So this one festival we do, it's a very nice festival. Usually festivals you have to fast. But this day, you know, you don't have to fast. So it's very wonderful that you don't have to fast. Very nice, you don't have to fast. Everyone can enjoy chanting and dancing, no fasting. Of course, I was telling you, fasting, you can enjoy the food better if you fast, you know. And so if you like to fast, you can do it. All right, are there any questions? Anybody? Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you mentioned that the Abhishek and the apology of Indra was done in private. So none of the Vrajavasis witnessed, correct? I was wondering if they were hesitant to perform Govardhan Puja the next year because maybe it's going to rain again, or
Maybe what?
maybe it'll rain again. Maybe Indra will get mad again if we neglect the puja.
Well, Indra again. Certainly, we said Krishna came to inaugurate this worship of Govardhan Hill. So every year it goes on, and certainly it's a very popular festival. And we don't mind if it rains or not, but the festival has to go on. If it wants to rain, then that's something we can tolerate. But we need to do the Govardhan Puja. And certainly Govardhan festival, very famous festival. Vrindavan will be alive with devotees today. And the devotees doing parikrama, when they go on parikrama, they're walking around the 12 forests of Vrindavan. But when it comes to this day, they will find a nice place to be there, probably somewhere near Radhakund or somewhere around near to Govardhan, and they will have a nice festival in honor of Govardhan Hill. I remember when I was doing parikrama there, they had the Govardhan Hill. They made 2 Govardhan Hills. One was out of Gobar. They made it from Gobar, and they had all the different landmarks. They put all the different landmarks. So a big one had a big table, big area, and a very nice replica of the Govardhan Hill, and they put the different kunds and different places. So we always try to make a very nice festival for Govardhan. One other point also, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that we never walk on the Govardhan Hill. Right? Because Govardhan Hill is Lord Krishna. And so as devotees, we do not walk on the Govardhan Hill. But there's a deity, there's a temple there on the Govardhan Hill. And Chaitanya Charitamrita describes how Lord Chaitanya wanted to have darshan of that deity which was on the Govardhan Hill. And it was arranged how the deity came down, because there was a threat that the Mohammedans are coming and they will come and smash the deity. So they moved the deity, they brought the deity for safety, they brought it down the hill and they brought it to some village on the side of Govardhan. So at that time Lord Chaitanya was able to take darshan of the deity. And then again the same thing happened with Rupa and Sanatan, that they wanted to also have a darshan. Many years later, they were there in Govardhan and they desired to have the darshan. And again it happened that the deity came down again. And all the Goswamis, they all came from Vrindavan and they were all able to have darshan of the deity. So there are many pastimes in relation to the Govardhan Hill. And Uddhava also, he had a place there at the side of the Govardhan Hill. He was staying there. So many great devotees came there. Madhavendra Puri, he found the deity of Srinathji. Right? Those of you who are from India, you will know the deity of Srinathji. Very famous. It's up in Gujarat or Rajasthan there, Srinathji, Nathdwara. There's a village called Nathdwara, and there's a temple there of Srinathji. But that deity was actually from the Govardhan Hill. And it was found by Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri excavated the deity of Srinathji. He had a dream. Krishna appeared to him and told him that I'm very cold and I'm very hungry. Please take me out from this place. And so Madhavendra Puri got some people to help him, and they began to dig the earth, and they brought out the deity of Lord Krishna. And Madhavendra, some people, they find a deity, what do they do with it? Put it in the museum. Something like that, They put it in the museum, nobody worships. But Madhavendra Puri, he found the deity, he inaugurated the worship of the deity. And he got brahmanas to come to do everything, and they began to make a temple. But then Madhavendra Puri had another dream, and he got told, I want camphor, I want sandalwood. So Madhavendra Puri had to go and walk to Jagannath Puri to get everything. So many things happened at Govardhan Hill. There's so many wonderful pastimes there. So we're having our festival here in this place today, Govardhan Hill. I think the devotees are making a hill, right? Any other questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It is more of an expression of gratitude than a question. I was hearing you for the first time this yatra, but I thank you so much. It was really nice the last 3 weeks. We got your association, and we were able to immerse in Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam. Your lectures through the course of the 3 weeks, the first during the Japa retreat of the Sadhu Ninda, the Nama Parad, all those, and also now of the Krishna pastimes, the Govardhan Lila especially, were very nice for us to focus and get our attention during the month of Kartik. A yatra is a time that we take out of our daily lives so that we can come and immerse our consciousness. And to have association of sadhus like yourself who both by achar and prachar set an example for us. I'm very, very grateful for that, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Hey.
One of the things that I'm taking home with me from what I heard from you was in answer to a question, the question that I don't remember, but your answer to that question was, you said, study the theology behind Nama, understand more why we chant Nama, then taste will come. If we know what we are doing, then we will do it better. I'm very grateful to have received that from you, and that will be my take home and my application. I seek your blessings in that. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your association.
Thank you for your kind words. I'm very grateful to all the devotees who give me an opportunity to come and take part in this yatra. Certainly it's been very wonderful. I enjoyed the opportunity to have so much hearing and chanting with all the devotees. So I have to thank all of you. All right. One other thing I wanted to do today, I'm awarding initiation to one of our ladies from China. Right? Where is she? Yogini Yashoda? Is she here? Yeah, come. So this lady, she's initiated. I'm giving her second initiation today. So she's a yoga teacher from China, and she's met all the qualifications for the second initiation. She's been already 5 years initiated, and she completed the Bhakti Shastri course, and she's also recommended by the regional supervisor for that zone. So today we're giving her the second initiation. Please give her your blessings. Hare Krishna. Okay, any other questions? Anyone? Yes?
顶拜敬爱的 Guru 对，就是我想问的是，我听说过 Krishna 说过， 冒犯我的人我可以原谅，但是冒犯我奉献者的人我绝不原谅。但是天帝因铎因为温达文的居民把给他的祭祀都供给了戈瓦尔丹山，就想下暴雨淹死温达文的居民，这现在看来也是非常大的恶行，这是多么大的冒犯呢？那为什么 Krishna 要原谅这个天帝因铎呢？那么因铎是不是在臣服 Krishna 以前就不是奉献者，在臣服了以后才是一个奉献者呢？这是我的问题。Hare Krishna。
Mataji's question is, before Krishna said if somebody offend himself, he will forgive the person. But if somebody offends a devotee of the Lord, Krishna will not forgive the person. So Indra did a very big offense because he almost killed the residents of Vrindavan. But why Krishna still forgive him? Another question is, Indra, is it right? Before Indra surrendered to Krishna, he was not a devotee. Only after he surrendered to Krishna, he became a devotee.
No. Indra was a demigod, right? So demigods are all devotees, but they're not pure devotees. They have material desires. You know, they like to have position. They like to have power, but at the same time they have a lot of piety. In order to get the position of a demigod, they have to have done a lot of pious activities. Otherwise they cannot enter to the heavenly planets. To go up to the heavenly planets and to become a demigod, they have to have performed a lot of pious activities, but material pious activities. They didn't have a lot of spiritual pious activities. Spiritual pious activities, that's what gets you real bhakti. So he had some bhakti, but it's mixed with material desires. So he was a devotee, and the Lord came and he took away his pride. Krishna says, when I am very merciful to someone, I take away their pride, I take away their attachments, and then in their helpless condition they can surrender better. So the first question, you were saying Indra committed an offense against Govardhan Hill or against the people of Vrindavan. Well, remember Indra, he was offensive, but his offense was more against Lord Krishna. It was more between him and Krishna. The devotees of Vrindavan, they're not different. They're all Lord Krishna's eternal associates. So because Indra had somehow got the special mercy of Lord Krishna, he'd come and apologize to Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna is able to forgive him. But as I said, still the pride came. He didn't get completely free of pride. Again he becomes proud. He gets influenced. The whole pastime of Indra and his pride, you could say it's all Lila Shakti. It's going on under the potency of Lord Krishna. So when the demigods become influenced by pride, actually the acharyas tell us that when Lord Krishna was telling them, be careful in the future, he was talking in the plural. He was not just talking to Indra. Other demigods were also involved. Other demigods had also helped Indra to perform this attack to try to devastate Vrindavan. And so Lord Krishna, he was addressing not only Indra, but the other demigods also who had collaborated with Indra in trying to defeat Krishna and trying to destroy Vrindavan. So Lord Krishna saw there's some problem there among the demigods. Yeah. But Lord Krishna is very kind and he forgave them. you say, well, he offended the devotees, but Lord Krishna, he promises to protect his devotees. He'd made that promise, he made that vow. Kuntiya pratijanihi nami bhakta pranashyati. You declare it boldly, O Arjuna, my devotees will never perish. So when Indra and these demigods tried to destroy Vrindavan, Lord Krishna took action and he protected them. So then Indra's committed an offense against the people of Vrindavan, but it's a battle between Indra and Krishna. And Lord Krishna has defeated Indra. So now Indra has come to surrender to Lord Krishna. Yes, he's committed an offense against the devotees, but because he's a demigod, because he's come to Lord Krishna and he's begging forgiveness, therefore Lord Krishna told him, okay, go back to the heavenly planets. Go back and do your service and be careful about pride. So yes, you're right that he didn't actually get forgiven for his offense against the devotees. If he had been more cautious, he would have also went to the devotees. But he doesn't have that kind of realization. His realization is only in relation to Lord Krishna. Just like we were hearing yesterday about Ramayana, right? There was Ravana, and there was Vibhishan, and what was her name? Surpanaka, yes. So Surpanaka wanted Ram only, and Ravana wanted Sita only. But Vibhishan, he wanted Sita and Ram. And so the same, here you have Indra, he can respect Krishna, but he doesn't have so much understanding about devotees. So that's like Kanishta. As I said, demigods are not pure devotees. They're not on the highest level. So they can respect the Supreme Lord. The Kanishta devotee, he sees God only in the temple. He doesn't see God in the hearts of the living entities. So similarly, Indra is a little bit like that. He's not able to understand the exalted position of the devotees. So he offers his respects to Lord Krishna, and he feels sorry he's offended Lord Krishna. He didn't really know much about devotees and the position of the devotees and the cows. But he did come with Surabhi. He brought Surabhi cow. So that was nice that he brought Surabhi cow along with him in order to show their gratitude to Krishna. Yes, it's a good question. I often have this doubt also myself about Subari Muni. Right? Subari Muni was meditating in the bottom of the Yamuna and he offended Garuda. Right? And I thought, and then he put a curse on Garuda, and he went, and anyway, he got agitated, and he came out from the water. Subari Muni came out of the water, and he wanted to get married. He'd been a great yogi, he'd been meditating in the bottom of the Yamuna, and he got disturbed by sexual desire from seeing fish copulate. And he thought, I also want to get married. And he came out of the water and he went to ask the king, can I marry any of your daughters? The king had many daughters. He said, well, if any of them want to marry you, they can marry you. But he come out from the water, his skin was all wrinkled, he was a yogi, he didn't look very nice. So when they asked the king's daughters, will any of you like to marry him? They said, no, don't want anything to do with him, no. Right? And so the yogi anyway has mystic powers, so he rejuvenates himself and makes himself look very nice and attractive, and he came back again, and when they came back with the rejuvenated body, he asked the girls, would any of you like to get married? They all wanted to marry him. And so he took all the daughters of the king with him as his wife. You know? But my point was, well, he never got forgiven for his offense, you know, that he committed the offense against Garuda. We never heard about him ever getting forgiven. But what he did do, eventually they all went to the forest, and along with his wives, they all went into the forest eventually, and they did austerities, and they got liberated. And so, you know, similar situation, but we understand the importance that they have offended the devotee, very serious. We must go to the devotee and get forgiveness. So that's an important point. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki. Go back to Vrinda ki. Oh, you have a question, Prabhu, is it? Okay.
Maharaj, one appreciation and a question. I very much like the way in which every point of yours goes back to something which Srila Prabhupada said, and in a very subtle way you hit the point directly. When somebody asks a question, the answer is there in the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, and your allegiance and your sincere practice of Srila Prabhupada's teachings was something which really touched me. My daughter is listening to this online and she has a question. If we are worshipping Govardhan Hill, why do we later eat the Govardhan Hill cake, like the cake or the rice, etc.? How can we eat something that we are worshipping in this way?
Yes, well, the Govardhan Hill is also the prasadam, right? We're offering it to Krishna. When they make the offering to Krishna, Krishna comes and eats all the offerings, right? And Krishna is, that we told the story about Aniyor, right? You want more, bring more. So yes, we do. We make a hill out of Govardhan. It's the replica of Govardhan Hill, and it's all offered to Krishna, so it becomes a prasad. And so we're eating the prasad. Yeah, we offer everything. We always offer food to Krishna, and we always eat the prasad, right? Everything we eat is offered to Krishna. So this Govardhan Hill is our offering to Krishna also. So we're eating the prasadam. So no harm. So I hope your daughter is satisfied. Yes? Hare Krishna. Any other question then? Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Giriraj Govardhan ki.
Hare Krishna devotees. There are two important announcements regarding the